Cover page. We got Carrot and Panda Sharks. She just left Carrot Park, which is what Ninjin Park translates to. And overall, it's a pretty cute cover page, isn't it? Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Panda sharks are big for me, but wait, hold on. We
What's
dropped
up?
the duh. We dropped the duh, and they're just pan sharks in the Stephen Paul edition.
Oh, wow. Another
Yeah, look at
Stephen
that.
Paul original. Okay.
Original. What do you think is it because I said we dropped letters off of his name, so he started dropping letters off of my favorite things?
I think that's it. Yeah, and they're called panda sharks everywhere too. I mean, not just like from us and, every other translation, but they're in the video games, man.
Yeah,
Damn it.
what the heck? That was a I like cause we just pulled up the Stephen Paul edition, and 2 seconds in, I already see the slights being handed out. But someone in chat dropped him already by the end of the chapter to Ven Paul. I don't know why.
He's not even Paul, he's just Ven.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay.
I don't know why they
Maybe we
dropped
should
so many
give Stephen
letters.
Paul the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe they really are pan sharks. Like, they're panda sharks' dumb cousin, right? Like, it's, Oda is the one who dropped out the duh.
Yeah. Surely it was Oda. And these are like, what kind of panda sharks lets them get stepped on, right? Like this is kind of disrespectful to panda sharks worldwide. But I guess it's Carrot, the queen of animals. So
The queen
that's
of
like
animals is crazy.
she kind of is, right? Like, is
I
that
mean,
not
she's
what
queen of
her
the
role is?
minks, not exactly all living animals in the world.
What about that one monkey that they got going on that like is sort of a mink, but he's not really a mink? You know what I'm talking about? Like he like can
Rodney?
just clap. Is his name Rodney? No,
Oh
Rodney's the
no,
giant gorilla.
Ronnie's the giant gorilla. You're talking about that little dude, yeah? No, he can talk.
He can talk?
Yeah,
I
he
don't remember if
talks.
he could talk.
He's the one who alerted
Uh,
Zoe about the samurai. He said the samurais are
I
here.
wait, I thought he just rang the bell. I'm forgetting him
He rang the
speaking.
bell and then he was running, crying and screaming it out. Yeah, he could talk.
Gotcha.
He's just like a
Yeah,
short
so
mink.
he's a mink. He's a short mink. Maybe he's Tentata mink. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah,
He's
that's a
like some
disgusting
hybrid.
combo. Imagine being that like nerfed at birth.
Well, I don't know if being the Tentata is nerfed. They're
Being a
stronger.
Totara and being a mink at the same time, that is a dirty combo, dude. That you gotta admit, man. If you like played One Piece D&D, or if you like spawned in the One Piece world and you were a Tontata mink, I'm gonna be honest. Do you just
Wait.
end it right there?
No. On
I think you
Tentatas,
just end it, man.
they live longer than humans, and they're stronger than humans base. And with minks, you get Electro.
Okay,
You get kind of good deals.
we're not talking about that. We're talking about appearance-wise and race-wise. Like, it's just not good.
I don't know what you got against. Wait, what was the monkey's name?
You don't even know his name. Look. We're dehumanizing him.
No,
That
I mean,
thing.
anyone who gets to be underneath Carrot is clearly on having a good day, right? I had a lot of new
No.
chatters come in and old chatters come. Mr. Bushido, shoutouts, always coming in on a Carrot cover page.
Love Mr. Bushido. He was really
Yeah.
huge on Carrot for Nakama back during Wano. I remember that.
Oh, he still is.
Yeah, he was big on that, and he was big on like X Drake joining the Straw Hats as well, which both didn't really pan out. He never gives up though. So like,
Yeah.
if you were to ask him nowadays, I think he still like is gung ho about it. Shouts to Mr.
Anytime
Bushido.
there is a Carrot, not even Carrot, like if there's a Carrot in the chapter, he shows up on stream and he's just like, "Huh? What about now, Par?" And I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, hey, power to him. But it's at first I was like, oh, dude, no way. But now I'm just like, you know what?
woo.
Woohoo. I think that's how I am with most theories. I'm like, you know what? Go for it, man. I enjoy their tenacity, I think is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, go for it. So, anything to extrapolate off of this cover page? Anything we can proliferate this
Uh,
conversation to? Like what do you think?
the main thing would be this is the first time we have a directional location for Zoe, which should not be locked in a place or direction. Like Zunisha's walking around, but this is kind of like I was describing in my chat. I was saying that maybe it's like the zoo, like the elephants are this way, and like they're just in this general. There's a large area for sure.
Okay.
At the Bronx Zoo, it's the other side of the river. Like that's where they go and you can point in that direction. That's where they are. So maybe Zunisha like has like an area where they have to stay in. Like they are walking perpetually, but maybe it's like a part of the grand line that they stay within. And this is an indicator. This is the first time we have an indicator of a direction.
Yeah, no, that is true. That would be massive if this was canon. Um, but since it's not, I think it's just a cool little
Well,
thing.
no, hold on, hold on. The other part of
Okay.
it, okay, is that the reader did not request that sign. So that sign is an Oda significant original. He dropped it in. We don't know why. We just know that Carrot she's the queen. Maybe she's the one who put down this post. Maybe Carrot. I mean, that's the part with Carrot walking on the pandas, that panda sharks. That's the non-canon part. But the non-canon part is the sign. You get what I'm saying?
Have we seen the bottom of Carrot's feet before? Like, is that hairy as well? Or is it just like
Ah,
paws?
toes?
Yeah,
No, I
like
think they're toes
beans?
because their hands are hands.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
And she also wears shoes. And she has
Yeah,
extra
unfortunately.
bounce. Oh, okay.
We got a brand new location here. We got Ninjin Park, Carrot Park. More
Yeah,
like Carrot Island, not exactly a park per se, but that's cool. I think this should exist in the world, right?
she saw Arlong Park and she saw Saba Odi Park and she said I wanted one. This is her first because this didn't exist before she was queen. Clearly, this is a new thing that she like. You can see one of the carrots is like it looks like it's under construction. You could see like
Oh, you're
wood.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So I think she used her royal funds to make a park. She said, "I'm bored of this goddamn elephant. I need my
As
own
we all
park."
are.
And Zunisha, just got one rabbit lighter by the looks of it. It seems like she purchased an island. Do you think you can just purchase it? If you're a king, can you just find an island and purchase it?
I
Probably.
I'd hope so. If not, then why be a king or queen?
She probably bought it. I think she bought it. This very seems like what Kara would do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's interesting thinking about like Carrot Island as well. Cause it's like, like I remember back during the Big Mom Whole Cake Island arc where they were building her
Hmm.
cake, and there were like these stupid ass islands that were one-offs. Like, oh my god, it's
Hmm.
Broccoli Island! It's Cheese Island! They're bringing in the ingredients!
Yeah. Yeah.
Milktopia! Like yeah. Like Carrot Park, I bet that is a new thing. It's established. The Big Mom Pirates also visit here pretty often in my head canon. It's some good stuff.
Yeah, maybe it is in Big Mom's territory. That would kind of tie off her story because she was a big part of Whole Cake Island. So like maybe that's where she scouted it, and she's like, Big Mom doesn't even like carrots, and so she bought it from them while the market is low because where's Big Mom? Big Mom is not there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one queen to just a bunch of kids, and the Nepo kids don't know what to do with it. They're like, you know what? We need the money right now.
Ooh.
We'll take it.
And Carrot is taking the carrots back home to make carrot cake.
Mm.
Mmm.
And Zunisha, we know, likes apples, so maybe they also like carrots.
Ah, yeah. Now I'm
Huh,
just imagining
yeah.
like some crazy Rule 34. So, on to the chapter now. We see King
Okay.
Harold, the worst king in the entire world and history of Elbaf. He is asking Loki to kill him and take the throne, a crazy demand from a king, again, furthering his reputation as a madman. And Loki, cuts in and he says he died at the ripe age of 144. Giants naturally lived at 300. It wasn't his time to go yet. So, I take it you're the one who manipulated and killed my father. Emu doesn't answer that necessarily. He just says the one who suffered the greatest setback was him. Loki says, tell me, were you the one? What the hell did you do to my old man? Emu doesn't respond. Funny enough, in my head, I was like, oh, yeah, Emu says that he's the guy who did it. But nope, he's just quiet.
Yeah.
But, the silence, as they all say, or don't say, it speaks volumes.
Yeah. To not to go on to the least meaningful part of this, but the Viz translation of this is kind of funny, where they say, but giants live to 300 years naturally. In TCB, it says giants usually live to 300, and the usually is because Yarul is clearly at 400. So, but here in the Viz, it says naturally, which means it kind of implies that there's some unnatural things going on with Yarul. My guy is juicing. It's kind of interesting.
Yarl's a little bit strange.
Yes, guys, this is confirmation. He is looks maxing. That is what's happening, or age maxing. Sorry, that's the wrong maxing he's doing. But that's it's kind of interesting because we ended up getting a monologue from Emu later on, but I do kind of want to know what the hell did you do to my old man, specifically, did he have a metal heart? What was the regenerate? How did you do that part? Can you explain yourself in a single sitting? How did you make this happen? I want to know the nitty gritty of it. Ooh. But we're not going to get that for a long time.
Yeah. Emu should have been like, yes, I performed magic tricks on your father.
Yeah.
Ooh, no. Loki should have said, oh, so you're the clown who did it, huh? With all these tricks of yours.
Yeah. And then Emu would have just said, yeah, and then went on with the conversation. Well,
if anything, Emu would hit us with a question mark. Just, what's going on? What is this dialogue?
Why can't I just keep clicking A? How many minutes do you think this is going to take in the anime? This one swing when we get the flashbacks in between? It's a few minutes. This page, I think.
I don't know, man. The pacing's been pretty... we're in the beginning of Elbaf. The pacing's been pretty decent. I feel like this will be quick. Okay. I do think that when we get Loki's battles, or just battles from the Giants in general, there's a small part of me that is coping and saying that Toei, and even Oda, they're not going to make this feel like a kaiju battle. These guys are going to move pretty fast. Or at least that's what we hope for. Nobody wants a slow, drawn-out kaiju battle where, of all of Pizarro spending 5 weeks moving his hand. No. This is gonna be quick. You see it, the lightning's coming down, and Loki, he's swinging down the hammer with all that lightning. It's gotta be bam, a flash in the pan. In terms of
it's funny you say that. The lightning is actually why I thought they were gonna drag it out in the anime, because even in the manga there's dialogue while the lightning is moving. It's sure, isn't that right? What the hell did you do to my old man happened while the lightning was hitting Ragnar. I was just that's such epic timing. How fast was he speaking right now?
He's
but do you think this is his strongest? Do you think this is one of his strongest one-hit moves?
I'd say that this is among one of his strongest base form attacks, yeah.
Oh, base form, right?
This is his Kamogomino. What's Luffy's strongest
rifle?
Base form attack? No, not rifle. Something
axe?
More no, not axe. Luffy's strongest base form attack, UFO.
UFO?
Yeah, dude, I put a lot of stock on UFO. That shit was cool back in Enies Lobby.
UFO was the flailing one, right?
No, UFO was the one where he spun his legs.
Yeah, he did that at Punk Hazard too, yeah?
I think so.
Strongest?
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not strongest. I think that goes to Bazooka hands down, but I think UFO has the most aura.
That's an interesting. I think your viewers would be surprised at this choice, if we're being honest. You should make that a poll. Which has the most aura?
What Luffy attack has the most aura? Is it the giant kick? Is it the giant bazooka? The spinning rifle attack? Or is it when he flails his legs around in a circle? Yeah, I like it for the memes, but yeah, realistically, it's bazooka. This is Loki's equivalent to bazooka, is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. And then he's just gonna add like an extra word, like giant dragon Ragna Izuchi, and then when he's in hybrid, right? Like something like that. Or do you think he says Nidhogg? Hogger. Oh, he says Hogger. There's no way he says Nid. He goes
Maybe
Hogger Ragna Izuchi. Okay, what does he do?
Ragna Izuchi, of course, is supposed to be a play on Ragnarok, but they can't do Ragnarok because Kaido has Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna switch it again. Instead of Ragna, we're gonna get the Japanese equivalent, and then instead of Izuchi, it's gonna be Rock.
Okay.
So you just take what we have here and just flip it. Flip the languages.
Okay, and do you know what that would be?
Oh, hell no, dude. The hell, what do you think this is? I don't know Japanese, man. Don't let my skin color fool you. Which, I mean, I guess it's not fooling most people. I look like a SE monkey.
I told my chat that I know what the One Piece is, and I told my best friend who's Japanese what the One Piece is, and they're like, "Size Japanese?" And I was just like, and I didn't know because I was just in the middle of saying what I was talking about the One Piece thing, and I look at chat, and the chat says, "Size Japanese, size Japanese." I was like, "That's what you guys got from what I was saying." That's a
crazy drop.
About whatever.
I mean, you gotta run with it though. Like with your chat, just keep on pretending I'm Japanese, and I do that with my chat too. Because I was talking about needing to get my PC fixed with Brago, and then we talked about calling you up. But yeah, we could just call Par or his cousin or something. Yeah, surely one of them runs an IT center. Yeah.
Oh,
the phone it in from India.
Funny. I offered it to Morge, so that there's that. And people think I'm his cousin, so
yeah, evil Morge. You see, Morge made a video called "Wano Will End in a Failure," and I will admit, people are
not
like,
Wano.
"Oh,
no, Elbaf."
Oh, sorry, Elbaf. Oh my god, dude, we're stuck in Wano, huh? Still in our heads. Yeah. He made a video saying Elbaf will end in failure. Yeah, and people are like, "Yo, that's huge. This is another big theory." But it's like, guys, who actually thinks they're beating Emu? Like, not saying it's a bad theory. I agree with Morge.
Yeah.
But it's like, guys, come on. Like, we all know Emu's not losing, man. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. It's different than saying Onigashima's raid will fail before Onigashima starts. It's like, if we got into Rooftop and, like, Luffy's, just before he dies the third time or whatever, if Morge went, like, the raid would fail, that would be kind of like, oh my god, wait, hold on.
Yeah,
and then that'd be like the Elbaf equivalent, Whereas, like, Elbaf, we have the literal god, devil, king, whatever you guys want to call him as a meme. We have them here, and it's like, yeah, I don't know how we get out of this one with
maybe
like
we're
a
not
full
beating
win.
him, guys. And then especially when Oda like set up a time limit for him too, with like the bleeding thing last chapter, it's like, yeah, I don't think we're beating him. I feel like he's simply gonna leave us.
Yeah, he's beating himself, if anything.
Yeah,
it's a little bit
he's
different.
beating himself off to that carrot cake.
Okay. You didn't need. There's no reason to segue back to the cover story.
I'm not, dude. Anyways, yeah, shouts to Morge, they'll love him. We see.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Morge, one last thing, I just think of Gantz now.
Why? Does he like that series?
Yeah, that's his favorite series. And I don't know why that really stuck with me. Yeah, no, he said his favorite series is Gantz. He has a lot of like Gantz merch. He has some in his background too.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's always nice seeing like what YouTubers really like, outside of One Piece, of course, like enjoy on their own. Like, oh, I'm Par Vision in the camera, but you turn it off and you're over here watching, I don't know, like Tomodachi game. It's like, whoa. Oh yeah, it's Par's shit there. Like Braga likes FMAB. Morge likes Gantz. Liam, Grand Line Review, he loves Hunter x Hunter. It's like, what do you like, Par? what is your anime
I just
outside of
wanna
One Piece?
I just want to throw out there that you used the voice that you used for me, and then the anime you used, they fit. I'm Parvision, and then you did Tomodachi. It's like, yeah, those two fit. Like, but as far as well, hold on, is it weird? I feel like Gantz is like not elite ball knowledge. That's not like it kind of
I'd say it's
is,
elite
but
ball knowledge. That's a good pull.
okay, but I feel like of the people of the group, I feel like all the YouTubers know what Gantz is. Is that weird? I
No, I
feel
mean
like
Gantz is just one of those OG ones, and people might not feel this way. I put it in the same
uh-huh,
category as Berserk, where
uh-huh.
it's really top tier in terms of action, setting, characters, designs, etc. But the adaptations are kind of bad, in my opinion. I'm saying not for everybody because some people do like the CGI, the short anime snippets we have in the live action, but I think it's so awful. Like if it had a proper anime,
There's a live action?
yeah, if it had a proper anime, it would be so good.
Wait, I thought I watched the anime. Is the anime terrible?
It's not amazing. I mean, people, like I said, people will disagree with that. I didn't like
Uh-huh.
it that much. I think it could have been better given the source
So the
material.
reason I watched Gantz was because I was looking at the Royal Battle Royale like that genre. And then so I looked at like what the oldest ones were, and Gantz was one of them. And so I watched. I was like, I don't remember it. I was like, this isn't something everybody watches for sure. Kind of like Psychopaths in a way, where I'm like, not
Mhm.
everyone's gonna get into Psychopaths, and even though it's really good, Gantz is a little bit different. Gantz is a little bit like not everyone's gonna get into it, and maybe they shouldn't. Maybe like I watched it
No,
for
Gantz is
like
great.
understand. I mean, I don't know about the manga or whatever. I just remember it being super brutal. So there's that.
Yeah, it's a little bit
But
brutal, but that's the joy of it, though.
yeah,
That
I
is the
mean, it's
joy.
brutal, but then what I'm saying is like, I feel like a lot of people won't come out of the series be like, yeah, like I learned something or I enjoyed it. Whereas like with Psychopaths, you go through the brutality and you're like, you know what? There is something to,
My takeaway from
extract.
Psychopaths is that Sybil system is always correct.
Well, like, yeah, you could extrapolate on AI or police force or the mesh between it, the transit. There's so much with Gantz. It's kind of like, yeah, no, people just got slaughtered.
Yeah, everybody's
There's
effing
not.
dead, dude.
Yeah, there's not, which is the opposite of One Piece. But in that way, will Elbaf fail? I think for me, Elbaf failing was a sentiment that I started getting when we first talked to Scopper, right? When Scopper was just like, hey, if Elbaf is still here, uh, let's talk. And I'm like, what do you mean? what do you expect out of the next like few minutes of Elbaf, Scopper? Like if we were to run back to Ange theory, I might throw in Scopper, be like, yo, Scopper is the one who's like, foreshadowing like crazy right now. He's the one who thought all of this was about to go down.
Yeah.
Or if he did it, then what did he see? It's kind of wild when you think back to
And
those
not just
words.
that, but the Ange theory, the Ange agenda is still pretty strong, believe it or not. No, dude, Grand Line Review made a whole video about it.
Okay,
Literally just the
okay.
other day. Like I said, I was
Yeah, but
smiling. It's
I
happening,
would imagine
dude.
with zero, if Grand Line Review added components from this chapter to bolster the theory, kudos. But you know what? I'd put money down that there's probably not an element from this chapter that is involved with the Ange theory. Only
Maki.
someone like you could do that. Oh, you think that Ange is Maki Queen?
Yeah,
Ma
Ange
Queen?
will be the first giant to use Maki successfully. Just watch.
Okay, this is gonna. There's no point in saying it. Okay. Her shoes are kind of weird. I'm just gonna say that they kind of the art with it kind
Fellow
of.
feet enjoyer, I see. Okay. Wow. Jeez, Bar.
My next video will explain why the panel will be there. Andrew's feet is in the next video. That is a confirmed thing. So, but yeah, when I was looking at it, I was just like, did Oda like mess up the drawing here? Why does it look a little bit like it looked a little bit like Maki? I'm not gonna lie, it did the way it was drawn. I forget what chapter it was. I'm not that deep into it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
You
yeah.
don't have Ange's feet bookmarked in a tab somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There was no good way. After, as soon as I uttered something, I had to say something, and there was no way around getting. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, this chapter, Ragnir's mad cute, right?
yeah. Yeah, Ragnar's pretty adorable. Big fan of the good old squirrel hammer. It's kind of crazy. Whenever you think about like the clashes that Loki's getting into this chapter between him and Maki, him and the mace, all these things, it's not Loki that's tanking it. It's Ragnar, really.
Yeah, yeah. And we know Ragnar is a tank, but it's kind of like a Pokemon battle.
Yeah, Pokemon
Yeah,
battle.
Ragnar versus whatever Maki monster that is. It's kind of like Ash Ketchum versus Gary right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, the Makis do have faces, so I'm down with you. I see the
Yeah,
vision.
yeah.
Oh wait, you never answered. What's your favorite anime?
Favorite anime? That's tough. I mean, we have already said like Psychopaths is really good, but as far as something that I do like, I don't care to watch party per se, and I just enjoy it myself is Vinland Saga. I've been liking that, but I am not caught up on the
Okay.
manga, so yeah, yeah, I like Vinland
Caught
Saga.
up on the manga. Yeah, it's all finished.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm not there. I wherever the anime was that I rewatched it. Like remember when you told me to watch the JJK episodes?
Yeah.
After I watched that fight scene, I watched some of the Vinland Saga fight scenes and I'm like, damn, these are
Mm,
sick. Yeah. I like Vinland
yeah.
Saga a lot.
You should read the manga one day.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the animation. If the animation ever drops off, just like even a little bit, I usually have a very strong like sense of like, okay, if the anime is doing the work, then I'm gonna keep on the anime. But if they drop off or if they take like 5 years or something like, well, they probably already taken 5 years, but they're just so good that I'm like, I want to stick with the anime. JJK was one where I was like, the animation's really good, but I heard that the series is ending, so I'm gonna watch it or read it. With Vinland Saga, I'm like, I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on because like people didn't like it. Wasn't with JJK's ending. There was a lot of like discourse around it. There was
Yeah.
no way for me to avoid that, right? With Vinland Saga, there was. So
Yeah, nobody really
I'm
talks
still
about the
holding on.
manga for it. Sad to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
Which
final arc is so funny though, man.
it is. Oh,
It
ooh,
is
like that
hilarious.
coming from you with a smile on your face. That's kind of good. I feel like.
You're not gonna really get it, but let's just say somebody has a flash to like modern day future events.
Ah, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So we see the Maki clash. Emu blocks Aragna Izuchi with a single hand. Pretty cool stuff. A lot of black lightning all around. Loki's like, yo, he blocked that? What kind of powers do you have? And then Emu says, Omen is my military might. So a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot, but I've seen people saying that this is a hint that maybe Omen is more than meets the eye. Maybe this is related to like the people who actually work under him, like potentially the God Knights. Like, oh yeah, the more God Knights he has, the more the stronger the Omen ability is. I like the idea that it might be tied to like all the kingdoms that serve under the WG. Like maybe the more kingdoms
Okay.
that paid tribute, the stronger the military might is. Or it could just be Emu's just
Oh,
manner of speaking, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's manner of speaking. But
Yeah.
when you said that, I just imagined like there's I forget where it is, but it's like um a power where it's like the more money someone has, the stronger they are. I feel like that's a
That is
prominent thing
from
somewhere.
Bungo Stray Dogs. That is the Great Gatsby ability.
Uh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's coming back a little bit. Wow, that's a awesome memory of yours.
I
Um,
like Bungo Stray Dogs.
yeah, yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs is a good one. I did watch all of that pretty quickly too. So, um, but that's also another one of those that I feel like is like not everybody would get into it either.
Oh
But
no.
oh yeah, yeah. Omen is my military man. I feel like it's just a figure of speech. Given Emu already talks like awkwardly, like Shakespearean, like like thou canst, anyways. So I feel like it's just the way it is. But when I was reading this, I did miss the part where they're getting gigantified. So when he said you can turn giant, I was like, what is he talking about? Is he like,
what
is he
what is
me?
Loki yapping about right here?
Yeah, but when you like look back at it, it seems like it goes from the flame, like the Maki is getting imbued into him and then inflating him. So it's kind of interesting that that's the way he's getting gigantified, not just like getting bigger, It used to be Luffy would do that with like year 3, but then to a certain point he just gets bigger off rip. Like there's no logic to it anymore. Whereas with Emu, Oda used like that gear 3 a little bit, where it starts at the hand and then goes into his body. So I wonder if that's a hint towards anything, but I have no clue. No clue when it comes to Emu.
Yeah, immediately
It
it
is
just
still
reminds me of Gear
interesting though.
Third.
Yeah,
Just like you
yeah,
said, Luffy inflating himself. But going back to it, like I feel like everything Luffy can do, Emu can do as well, and same vice versa. Like everything Emu can
yeah.
do, Luffy can probably do in the future once he realizes what he can do. Like black flames, white
Agreed.
flames. I mean, I just feel like it's all kind of right there. But yeah, Emu
Mm-hmm.
gets
Mm-hmm.
larger, not as large as Loki, but big enough to like I wouldn't say hold his own, but to make it not an inconvenience to fight him.
Yeah, yeah. I did find that funny. I was just like, oh, why don't you just keep getting bigger? Like you could have just matched him. But um yeah, it's probably so that he doesn't have to shrink back down when Luffy comes out. He's probably just turned the perfect amount of size so that the fight's not wonky. And so that
Yeah.
you know what it is though, actually, now I'm thinking about it, this is just Oda convenience. Oda didn't want to have a huge size disparity, but if they're both big, they can't fit on panel normally. Like so he needs to like even it out a little bit. So
Yeah,
now
I think
Emu's
that's
in the
part of it
foreground.
too.
Yeah. Because if Emu was in the foreground as big as Loki, we wouldn't see much. But Oda wanted him to fit perfectly in frame. That's what it was. And this just plays into Oda's whole sizing inconsistency, anyways. It doesn't really matter how big he got. He just got bigger. That's what it is.
Yeah, Oda could drop like the official height of Emu in this form, and honestly, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, not
it's just
for
one of
on
those
panel.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Like sizing and consistency. When did it last come in? I think it was with Yarl, right? Yarl at the village. That was the first time. And then most recently, it was with Hyrodin and Dorian Brogy. They're like, wait, why is he so big here? It doesn't really matter. Like it's one of those things. Like we've seen so much size inconsistency in One Piece, where it's just like we see it, we move on.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
biggie. So let's see here. They clash. Emu turns his weapon into a mace, and then we see that he bounces off of Loki's hammer into the sky, and then he plunges down with what Viz calls the Blade of Judgment Nemesis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stephen Paul did something special here. That's kind
Yeah,
of
he added
crazy.
he added some stuff in. He gave more context. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
not
new one.
bad. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I believe it just says Nemesis in Japanese. But of course, if you break down Nemesis, it is, essentially that right there. It is judgment,
yeah,
divine punishment.
yeah, something along those sorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it literally means that. And then he went Nemesis, which if this is it, hey, Stephen Paul, maybe Omen is another good one to expand a little bit on. Like this is kind of interesting that he did it here with Nemesis. Maybe he's a Mihawk fan. Maybe he's a Mihawk fan because that's what a lot of people look at this panel and are instantly reminded of. Um, which I get. Um, but I just think it's funny because you were telling me about the Black Blade stuff, and I did not even like that's not even like registering when I was watching because I saw like the pea shooter, not the pea shooter, but the flame like starting here, and I'm like, oh my god, he's making like weapons out of this Maki thing. That's crazy. But I almost wonder if there is a connection. I mean, maybe there is. Black Blades are just Maki coded. Could be
Yeah.
something like that.
That would be pretty
Yeah.
cool. And I think it would fit Zoro because he's getting more and more demonly as time goes on. So if Maki creates black blades, I'd be cool with it, especially with how Oda described black blades in Road to Laugh Tale. He said, "Oh, is hockey
Mhm.
truly enough to forge a black blade?" And it's like, maybe not. Maybe Oda's saying it's not hockey related, but Maki related, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a call to Mihawk. I don't know, like, it's always tough to say, but I feel like this was just very intentional.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see it like immediately, but that's also because I didn't remember the Mihawk chapter 561, I believe, is the one where he is going after Luffy. But if it's also called Nemesis Divine Blade of Judgment, that like Blade of Judgment makes sense because that's what Mihawk was doing to Luffy in that scene. He was trying to judge whether he was rightfully supposed to be Mihawk's like Mihawk lost his nemesis in Luffy because Shanks gave up on his thing for Luffy. He handed the everything over. So it's like in those moments, Mihawk was like testing Luffy and seeing if he was worth the investment from Shanks. So like I like to think if this move's name is that, then like if Oda were to go back and name that attack that Mihawk did anywhere the same, it'd be kind of interesting. I feel like it's more meaningful to Mihawk than is for Emu, but it also is interesting for the whole Nidhogg thing because is Nidhogg supposed to be Emu's nemesis? Is that what we're saying here? Or is it like Ragnar and Mihawk? Oh, not
So
Mihawk.
funny enough,
Ragnar and Nidhogg?
Mihawk's attack does have a name as well. The one where he slams down
Oh,
like
did
this.
it? Wait, it did? I thought he didn't have a name in there.
So, in the One Piece Pirate Warriors game, Oda's team is involved, and they drop names for all of Mihawk's attacks.
Oh,
the
this is
move
elite
name,
ball knowledge.
The move
This is
name
elite
for
ball.
when Mihawk drops down is Black Savage Star.
Which one do you like more?
I think they're both really good. Black Savage Star and Nemesis. The thing is that Nemesis, people are saying that it relates to Mihawk already. Just because, like, when you break it down, like, Nemesis is a Greek goddess, daughter of the night, and Yoru literally means night. But also, Mihawk's attacks, he does have some emu-related ones as well, which I think is very interesting. You know, he literally has an attack called Moo.
Oh.
Yeah, Mihawk has an attack called Moo in-game. And this is the most interesting one where people, like, go to it and they're like, okay, he's probably, you know, a celestial dragon. He has an attack called 16-Day Moon, which, of course, Emu means 1/6. And another character that has a 16 named attack is Doflamingo, a fellow fallen celestial dragon.
Yeah. Damn, the games. I mean, the games were vindicated by the reveal of Shanks, right? When Shanks came out as hockey god against Kid, everyone's like, "Oh my god!" So the games, they were just accurate because literally just Shanks just throws out hockey lightning in the games. And so now what you're saying is Mihawk has an entire move set for the community to go through and create theories about because Moo, he has an attack named Moo.
Yes.
And how come I haven't heard? How come whenever people brought up Mihawk as Celestial Dragon, this was never one of those things brought up? That's pretty insane. I had no idea.
Yeah, I love these.
Yeah.
The only problem is that, of course, like, it's not canon, so some people, if they don't want to believe it, that's fine. But I mean, it's all right there. I mean, you can't tell me that the moves he got. Keep in mind, this was 9 years ago. Like, Pirate Warriors 4 came out 9-10 years ago. Was Emu even a thing? I think he was.
Yeah, Emu was debuted around that time, right? Or was that 6 years ago?
I think that was 6 years ago.
Maybe. Actually, yeah. Wait,
what chapter was Emu first shown in the manga? 906, June 2018. So Mihawk had this attack before Emu was even revealed.
8 years ago is what Emu was in the manga, right?
Yeah.
2018 is 8.
Yeah.
So if Pirate Warrior, so that means that they were working on Emu. Like Emu was, like, I'm sure Oda had to tell his editors about it.
I'm stupid. There's so many Pirate Warriors. Okay, so Pirate Warriors 4 came out in 2020. So 2 years after Emu's reveal. I Okay,
So
yeah,
it's
that's my
still
fault.
either way. Even if you told me the game came out 2017 and the chapter came out 2018, I would bet that Oda a year before Emu's reveal would be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have to prepare for like the big baddie," and they're like, "Oh, really? Tell us more." And then boom. Like I
Yeah.
doubt the chapter of the Emu reveal is when Oda goes to his editing team like, "Hey guys." I even just talked about how like Oda's supervisor not prevented him, but had the whole Viola Doflamingo relationship thing like not on screen because of the whole nature of it. And so Oda wrote that it's like his had to talk to his supervisor. And it's like, yeah, I'm sure Oda had to talk to his supervisor about Emu for sure, for sure. So
Yeah.
that's interesting though.
So shoutouts to Mihawk's
Damn.
multiple named attacks in the Pirate Warriors 4 games, which keep in mind, like,
Wait, can
he
you link
doesn't
me
say these
that?
out loud. You can find it on the One Piece wiki.
Oh, it's on the One Piece wiki. Okay,
Yeah,
cool, cool,
just
cool.
type in Yoru and then it'll have all of his attacks right there.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was like the game had the stuff in there too, but now I remember they have like the non-canon ones.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Video game only. Oh my god, Kokuto Mu, Black Blade nothingness. Why even make everyone should just make theories off these games. Come on, guys. Get to it.
I mean, that
Yeah,
was the
it's
thing
oh
for
my,
like some of the earlier Wii games as well for One Piece. I think some of those games not spoiled, but they kind of showed what characters
yeah.
could do too.
This would have been so because I had a video. This is before we had Emu's name, saying that Mu was probably like Emu was probably a pun on the void, meaning the void century, and like an entire video connecting the katakana, whatever. And you're telling me that I could have just went to Mihawk's wiki page and saw Mu the kanji, and they literally say it's nothingness, or in the game was localized and the attack was called the void, which would have been perfect. I could have just, instead of the 5 minute explanation on the katakana, I could have just been like, hey guys, the video game actually did exactly what I said. Like, emu is probably the mu is probably the significant part. And it's probably related to, yeah, nothingness, meaning the empty throne, meaning nothing throne, and then the void. God damn it. Mihawk, I should have looked at you harder. I didn't. See, the thing is, it's kind of like what you're saying about it's non-canon, so like people like won't like a lot of people just automatically off rip if it's not canon, they don't want to enter it in their like purview of theory making. But this is not even necessary for whether this is non-canon or not. The point is Mu as kanji and katakana like has all these meanings, and so like the fact that Oda has a game that has that done already is so important actually. So yeah, I had no idea. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, you can
This is
find like the
awesome.
most random One Piece knowledge out there. The thing with Mihawk being a celestial dragon, like I feel like that's, I mean, outside of this chapter, right? That's always been a pretty popular theory. So if you're to
Hmm.
tell somebody that that's true, I feel like people would just believe you.
Yeah, that one, like, I feel like even before Holy Knights, Mihawk being a celestial dragon was always in the cards. Um, like, it just wasn't the strongest cards. And then it slowly got like more and more sinister as you got Garland being like Shanks is a celestial dragon, and then Oda like it just kind of started making a lot more sense that yeah, this guy, whether he's a celestial dragon, he's like the most celestial dragon coded character in the series, even amongst the Holy Knights, I would say. Like if you were to put the if you put Somers, Killingham, Gunko, even put okay, Shamrock doesn't really count because Shanks tags, but you put Mihawk in a lineup and you ask me who's the most Holy Knight guy, I would look at Mihawk before anybody else. I'm sorry, that's just it.
Yeah.
Just is. His sword is holy. He's holy. He speaks holy. Like the guy is just made to be the thing, and to be on that front, like Oda also made it. He's the first like warlord too, before warlords are even a thing. Oda clearly has. Someone asked me, like, Par, do you think that Oda's actually gonna do something with Mihawk? It seems like he's just like a nothing burger. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, and then I have a short that literally talks about how Oda's like the backstory of him, how he was betrayed and he hid behind the Navy because of and he hates the Navy because of the betrayal. And it's like, bro, that's really complex for Oda to just like not just give us fully in an SBS. You're talking about Oda, the guy who's been leaking the story via SBS, not leaking Mihawk's story the one time, he's definitely gonna give it to us soon. Not soon, but eventually, eventually.
Yeah, and I think Oda realizes how far away from everything Mihawk actually is. So to bring
Mm-hmm.
him back into the fray, he put Mihawk in Cross Guild. That is a way to bring Mihawk into this final saga and make it feel right. And then now if you just give him the Celestial Dragon thing, I mean, which is right there, mind you, like it's on the desk. Well, the whole thing is that we also have to explain like the Shanks rivalry. I think there's a
Yeah.
really good chance it started in the Holy Land. Like I think that's just an easy way to do it.
Dang, do you think Mihawk is looking for Loki? No, probably not, because Shanks beat Loki.
Nah.
But if, like, imagine that, like, he could have been like hearing like, what? Shanks fought somebody? Loki? Who's this guy? And then Mihawk's just been searching for Loki.
No,
That
I
never
feel
thought
like
about Elbaf.
if you lose the Shanks like that, it's like, no, he's probably not after you.
Maybe, but okay. Oh, we're getting to dangerous territory. Mihawk versus Loki.
Mihawk.
Really? Mihawk
Yeah.
takes Loki?
If Shanks can beat Loki,
Wow.
Mihawk can.
Yeah, but we don't know the circumstances, right? Like,
Yeah, we don't know the
like,
full
Shanks
circumstances. I'm assuming Shanks did beat Loki, though, or at least overpowered him enough to where Loki became a prisoner. Because I doubt
you
Loki
don't think
did this willingly. Like, it was probably some sort of
don't think
agreement that was based on, like, hey,
Yeah.
if you're strong enough to bring me down, sure. But, yeah, I
You
think
don't
Shanks
think
could
that,
beat
like,
Loki.
Shanks is like, here, let's play a game of heads or tails. Like, heads, you go free, tails, you go thing, but you got to catch it. And then he flicks it, and then Loki catches it, but the coin is made of sea stone, and then Loki's just out of commission, and then Shanks is like,
No,
you
I mean,
lose.
we're talking about like the top of the verse, right? Like, you replace Shanks with any other character. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Kaido was the only one to bring Loki back. I don't think people would be like debating, like, oh, did Kaido actually fight Loki? It's like, no, you just accept, like, yeah, Kaido beat Loki. If that was the narrative, right? If you just heard, oh yeah, Kaido was the only one that could stop Loki's rampage, I don't think a lot of people would be like, yo, like, did Kaido, like, hit Loki with Sea Stone? Did Kaido get him drunk and then just chain him up? I just feel like, no, Kaido probably fought his ass, dude. And then sure, like, I bet Loki wasn't like dead. I doubt like Kaido was going for the kill, but just like I don't think Shanks was. I think there was something behind the whole fight. But at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, he probably overpowered him. I think the same for Shanks, and at that point, I'd say the same for Mihawk. Because we're talking about like top of the verse characters.
We do have an example of a fight that, like, I'm not saying that Queen is, but you could say Queen did beat Big Mom, and then immediately, as soon as the opportunity arrived, wrapped him up in Sea Stone, wrap him up, and then like they were chained
Yeah, that's
down,
Queen,
and
though.
Big Mom's just
That's a
like,
little bit different.
undo me. Yeah. I know Queen is obviously a different caliber. I'm just saying that the precedent is there for the, like, hey, super strong character. Do I really want to fight them, or is there another way to go about this? And like the thing with Loki is Shanks and Loki, they do have a relationship
Oh, yeah.
beforehand.
They don't
So
hate
it's
each
like,
other.
yeah, like, does Shanks like care to beat him silly? I don't know, right? Like, there's also the world where Shanks is like, hey man, like, Yarl asked me for a favor. Scopper and Yarl asked me for, I gotta take you in, buddy. And then it's like, does Shanks put maximum effort there, or he's just like, hey, sorry to do this to you. He's the cuffs. And then Loki's like, what? And then he's just 1 second he's free, the next second he's taken away under supreme decree of like Yarl or the elders.
Yeah,
kind of
and
interesting.
this is a heavily debated topic. I mean, I held a poll, like, did they actually fight or not? It was like 50-50. Yeah, people are like, oh, like, there's no fight. Or like, oh, there was a fight. It's like, okay, it's...
Yeah, it's I think it's one of those annoying scenarios where I think Shanks can beat Loki, but like I feel like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Rock situation. Is Rock strong enough to get the crew that he did? Yeah, but he also do his Davy back fight? He did. And that was a highly contested subject for a long time too. How did he get these conquerors? Oh, he's this big bad conqueror, and he, subjugated all of them. And it's like, he is this big bad conqueror, but he used Davy back fight. And that was like when people brought that up, it was always like, well, you think that he needs Davy back fight to blah blah. You think Rox is a fraud, and it's like, well, he could be both. And then it turns out that it was both. He was strong enough probably to take out multiple of them at the same time. Like he is that insane. But he used Davy back fight for the six of them, right? The first six. At least that's as much as we know. Big Mom and Kaido were a little bit different because they were younger, but so that's why I'm saying it's like it feels like a little similar to that, where it's like, can Shanks beat him? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But did he beat him? I don't know. Maybe he just did something like that. I'm not saying Davy backfight, but something like in between.
Yeah, Shanks is a pirate's pirate. So I wouldn't mind if he did something underhanded, but I don't know if he'd do it to Loki. Just something about like Loki being Harold's kid. I feel like it's kind of like he flexed on him. I think Shanks did do it. And it's not just the Shanks and Mihawk thing. Like you could put any other top tier character there too. I'd probably believe you. Like you could say Dragon did it. I'd believe you. Well, Dragon is probably the more political one who talked to Loki. Like if it was Dragon, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, he probably just talked to him. But put Dragon there, I'd be like, yeah, Dragon could probably do it. Akainu could probably do it. Kaido is still like a heavily debated one because Dragon, Loki's much bigger. But if we heard that Kaido did bring him back, I'd be like, okay, sure, why not? I just feel like Loki is such a hothead that he wouldn't want to come back willingly. So the whole thing where they made a deal, sure, I bet there was a deal at the end of it somewhere, but I don't think Loki willingly agreed to it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of my main stance on it. So I think there was like some sort of overpowering going on there, one way or the other. Like maybe Loki's like, hey, I'm not going to do it if you're not that guy. Shank, like maybe there wasn't a fight and Shank simply flex conquers hockey. And then Loki's like, okay, sure, why not?
Well, one thing we can confirm going back to this chapter is that it's probably 99% sure that Shanks did not use Maki. Even if they were to fight Shanks is using everything, then he would, if he had Maki, he would have pulled it out. But if he did, then Loki would know what Maki is. And so Shamrock did seemingly do what Emu is doing in this, like literally in this panel of Nemesis, where he has his blade and he has like the black flame thing coming out. I forget what chapter. I think it's 1138.
That's with the Cerberus, yeah.
Yeah, when he pulls out Cerberus comes out of the blade all like fire, black flames, like too. So that like is an interesting connection that like it seems like the first time we've seen Maki like canonically as Maki would be Shamrock's, which that would be an interesting fight. I want to see. I still want to know if Shamrock's was being for real. Like, would it not matter, chains or not? I need to know.
That if there were no chains there, could Shamrock still beat Loki?
Yeah. I don't know if his twin could though. If his twin could,
yeah, that's kind of where I draw. Like, if the twin could do it, I think he could too. As crazy as that sounds, I know people don't put a lot of stocks into them, but I think it's possible. Like Loki's very strong, like top 10 of the verse for sure. But like the characters we're comparing him to, like whether it's Dragon, Akainu, Shanks, Mihawk, and all these guys, it's like this is also top 10. I mean, we're not, we're not bringing up like Katakuri. They're like, who wins? Is it Loki or Cracker? No. These are like top characters. So it's I'm fine either way. If Loki could beat them, I'm cool with that too. But right now, it's like I still think there's levels to it. Loki still feels pretty young. I want to see an awakening from him and all that stuff, which I hope he has in his bag somewhere, an awakening. Do you think he can awaken right now, or do you think that's just a thing for later?
I feel like later, because he got his devil fruit, and then he spent a few years on sea, and then he's been chained up for mad long. So like I feel like, does it make sense that he'd be like, who would he have fought? What could he have done that would have awakened him? You know what I mean? Like even in Lucci's scenario, Lucci lost at like the peak of his game and then came back training for 2 years straight with a vendetta, with a goal. And then he awakened. And it's like, do a lot of people not believe that scenario to be like fair? Sure, but like it's a lot more understandable than a guy who just been like chained up for this long. But if it were to make sense for anybody, Loki's kind of that guy because he already had the eyes like he was born with the eyes of Nidhogg. So
Yeah.
like that'd be like if Katakuri, like, I mean, Katakuri loves mochi, so it's like him being the god of mochi fruit makes sense because he like loves sweets and loves mochi donuts. And so if like it's kind of like that. It's like if there was a person to awaken, it's this guy. Like it'd be, I guess, another, it's like Doflamingo loves manipulating things, like he's a puppet master. So of course he's great at the string fruit where he's like manipulation's key, manipulating everything. So you know, I think Loki could awaken. I just don't know if it's off rip. Like it might be something like mid, he gets taken down. It's Luffy and Emu, and then like Loki's like, "Don't count me out," and then he just awakens into Nidhogg Loki edition, and we're like, "Oh damn, that's crazy." And then he like passes out because it like the fight's over, Emu's like leaving or something like that, and we're like, "Oh damn, that's crazy." Or he might hit us with the patented law where we get through the whole fight and then we skip like 2 months and we're with Loki the entire time, and then randomly he's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna awaken, baby." And we're like, "Law? What do you mean awaken? When could you awaken? When did you get the chance to train that?" But
He
again,
awakened due to fighting what celestial dragon tribute ships.
yeah, exactly. Loki's if there's anyone to give that to, it'd be Loki over anyone else. But I guess with laws scales with medical knowledge. So maybe he just like read another textbook and he's like, "Oh shit, I awakened."
And then Kid
You know.
correlates to trash and junk.
Whoa, that
JK,
was
I
the
like
meanest
Kid.
thing
It
you.
was just, it was right there. I
Yeah,
had to. I'm a Eustace
yeah,
Kid fan. I had to say that one.
yeah. That
Yeah,
was
I
crazy.
think Loki has an awakening. I feel like we'll see it in hybrid form. I don't know. We're at that point in the story where I think Oda doesn't want to like spend time with unawakened people. Like we've entered we've entered a meta where like if you're not awakened, you're kind of just like, I don't know. You're tossed to the wayside. I mean, Killing Him, great example, awakening
Yeah,
cloak. Just give it to him.
yeah.
Yamato's a weird one. We don't know if Yamato's awakened. I think, sure, why not? She has
She's
the
like
flame
right
clouds.
there.
Yeah, it's like a little bit different, but
99%.
she's 99% there. I say just give it to her. Kaku was awakened. Rob Lucci was awakened, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just we're at that meta shift. It's like you can't release a champion that doesn't have like an AoE stun.
Yeah. And like a lot of these people, well, like not uh Lucci and Kaku aside, but like Luffy's younger than a lot of these people with their fruits, like if Loki's older, he should be wiser. He's been on the sea for longer. He's fought and stronger, right? Like Harold was stronger than any Harold at the regeneration point as a god knight is stronger than Kaido, right? Like that's not a contested point, is it? Like
Not really. I mean, Harold was just that guy. I
yeah.
mean, same with Rocks.
Yeah, so like I feel like saying that Loki's already defeated anything stronger than Luffy's fought up until this point isn't that crazy, unless you were to say the Gorosei are like stronger than Harold, but that's probably not true considering Emu literally was like, "Nah, y'all die. If you face whatever killed Harold, you'll die." Like it's kind of it's one of those things you just kind of assume Harold is stronger than that. So uh Loki beat that off rip before even really mastering his devil fruit. So
Power scaling in One
and then
Piece is
there's
so
another thing
funny.
with awakening weapon.
I just said power scaling in One Piece is so funny because it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
this character connects to this character, and then he connects to this character, so he should be stronger. It's like, yeah, fair enough. I don't even know if Oda
Yeah.
thinks that deeply about it, to be honest, but you'd like to think
Yeah,
so. But I think sometimes it is just like, oh, okay, what feels right? Let's just go for it.
Kaido's just the boogeyman of power scaling, I feel like. Because now every conversation when someone strong comes into play, it's always like, could they beat Kaido? And it's like some characters just feel like they can't. But like I remember when Lucci came out awakened, how does he do against Kaido? I remember that being a thing for like a moment. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know if he feels like he could beat Kaido, but like Loki feels like he could beat Kaido. But Harold definitely was stronger by what I felt like. It just wouldn't make sense if Kaido was there. And it's like, yeah, no, I could took down that Herald too. And it's like, no, I don't know if that makes sense, guys. Like, it just doesn't feel Like it makes sense because then Emu would be like saying like, yeah, I can't send any Holy Knights up against Kaido. I feel like that's not true. I feel like you could send a few Holy Knights against Kaido, maybe like 6 of them, maybe. Actually, I don't know. The Holy Knights are fucking ass, bro. Let's switch it to the Gorosei.
I mean, granted,
right? Like,
we haven't seen all the God Knights though. Like, if they were all like Shamrock-esque, then I feel like people would be fine with that. But
yeah.
But then, I mean, there's Shamrock, who's like Shanks' twin brother, who, if he's as strong as Shanks, he should be able to beat. You know what I mean? Like, power scaling is so funny. And then there's like potential people, right? Dragon is potential man. Dead ass. He really is just. Dragon is quite literally potential man. Like, yeah, he should be this strong. We got nothing to back it up, but he should be this strong. It's like, yeah, fair. I mean, I don't hate it.
The first super chat I got, it bricked me. It like absolutely. I was like, "Are you joking right now?" And it was crazy because I had a bunch of people coming to bat for it, and I'm like, "Guys, I'm not even coming to bat for this." They said Dragon goes tip for tip, toe for toe with Emu in this chapter, and I was like, "What?"
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like pretty much every top tier would kind of look the same against Emu.
Yeah, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I don't care how
maybe
much
they'll
you guys
fare
like
a little
Dragon.
bit better, but I don't think they're going. I don't think anybody in the verse is going tit for tat.
Yeah, and
they'll
like
look better, but
and then
not tit for tat.
I asked them, I was like, what if you swapped out Emu for Dragon? Dragon's not just stopping Loki like this. Like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are making me look crazy because I'm a Dragon supporter. I said Dragon's top 1 before 2 years ago, before we had Emu, before we had Loki. If you were to catch me in today's top 30s saying Dragon's number 1, immediately lobotomize me. Like, I cannot, off of hypothesis, like hypothetically, put Dragon above Loki. That would be bonkers. That would be and hey, if Dragon is fine, cool. But I'm not gonna put my expectations there. If you want to, more power to you. But that's a crazy expectation for any character to be above Loki or even near Loki. Being near Loki is already absurd. Loki already feels insane, but like Oda made him an ancient giant blood. Like he gave him Ragnir. He has this Conqueror's Haki that like beats Herald. Like he has everything. So to put any character near him, you're saying a lot. And I don't know if I want to say that much about Dragon, but that was the first super chat.
I'll say it for Dragon. I don't think Dragon's like, manhandling Loki, but I think Dragon could win.
I think Dragon is strong, but like until I see something, I don't want to be on that.
Until we see something, he's just potential, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like, guys, there's a part of the conversation where we could say like, yes, should Dragon be this strong? Sure. We can put, but there's a lot of characters that are in that bubble. But I'm not gonna like rank characters. I'm not gonna put an actual ranking when we're this far into the game. We made a whole new hockey, guys. There's Maki now.
Now. I never have like a list of characters who I think are strongest. It's just like, for me, the way I view it is that these characters should be top 10-ish. I don't have like a definite like, oh, this character beats this character. It's like, hey, these guys are all strong. If one beats the other, cool. Like, as long as you have them in that top tier realm, I don't care. Because shit can change very fast with power scaling. Like you said, we're in a brand new meta with Maki now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just like now, like when Kaido has that top 5, it's like it's crazy because it got so much bigger that the clouds, the space in them with all the amount of characters that should be in that realm, it expanded. And now it's like you throw in Maki in there. People are saying that Sommers with Omen is should
Maki
be in that
like
cloud.
The new fucking Logia? Like at first it was Logia's, right? Logia's dominated. And then what did it go to after Logia? Was it just like
Logia,
Conqueror's Haki?
Yeah, it was just
Conqueror's Haki and Awakening.
Yeah.
And now it's the Maki era, where it's like if you don't have a contract of the Abyss, you're kind of well, okay, to be fair, Emu's the only one really utilizing it right now, But I mean, he's bringing in the meta, man, you know, and now that Killingham and Summers have it, if they are genuinely stronger, like a lot stronger, and you've been saying Kaido level for those guys, if they truly do, yeah, if you are correct and they are like Kaido Shanks level because of Maki, this is the new meta. It is.
Yeah, like Shanks was in Kaido's top 5. That's crazy, right?
Shanks was in Kaido's top 5.
Was he? It was Odin? Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Odin.
It was
I don't
Odin,
know why I was
Roger, Bellamy, Rocks, and Garp.
Yeah, Garp wasn't in that top 5.
Oh, Mihawk, sorry.
Yeah, Mihawk, yeah.
And
we
Dragon was there too.
Characters. Yeah, the edited ones. Like
Don
that's what's funny about the Prime Don Zhao should be there according to Garp, right? Garp was sweating against that guy, and like he lived to tell the tales too. So that's crazy. And he didn't end up in prison, which is kind of the more surprising part, right? So
yeah, Don Zhao, man, and he's the leader of the Hapusui.
And you know what's crazy about Don Zhao?
So
the craziest part, everyone forgets about this, is we're missing. I don't know. I can't say this with a straight face. I was gonna say like,
dude, we don't want to do it part. We have like what, an hour of embarrassing talks, anyways. You can do this.
No, I was gonna say like people are forgetting the person who's probably second to Dragon's potential man, Don Zhao's son. We don't know who Don Zhao's son is. Sai and whatever is his grandkids, right?
True. Maybe he's dead.
No, but like maybe he's just like with Dragon. He's just because if Garp
giving Don Zhao's son Dragon, man.
Garp, Dragon, Don Zhao, Don Dragon, potential man. There's another potential man out there.
Oh, since they're Chinese, do you think his name's gonna be Don Ching Chong?
All right, you can say that. I can't say that. I could get away with a lot of things.
Okay, technically that's something Oda would do. Crazy. That is something Oda would do. We got King Taco, man. King Taco? Which I think is hilarious, mind you. I do love the stereotypes. Don Ching Chong could be a legitimate character we meet in the future. And he has like, he'll have like that anime gimmick where like he has the super slant eyes that are always closed. Yeah.
The ultimate reality where I'd say, instead of saying Don Potential Man, I just straight up pull out Don Ching Chong.
And next time we do One Piece D&D, that's going to be my character.
Don Ching Chong. Oh, God. Yeah, that, like, it's funny when you think about it, because that is genuinely a character Oda could pull out of nowhere, and it would make sense for him to be strong. Would it be liked? No. But we don't know.
No, he'd be liked. Yeah, the Asians would love his ass, dude. We would champion him to hell and back.
Yeah, he could be a dead character. You're right, though. Like he could have. Maybe he was an ex-revolutionary and he died for the cause. You know. Then he sucks. Never mind.
And you know the thing with these names, by the way, they're real Asian names. I have an uncle named Pong. No. And then I know another one named Ping. So it's like, you know, like Ching Chong is...
You're not being...
Right?
Are you being for real?
Yeah, I'm being for real. Yeah, I have Uncle Pong, yeah.
No. But do you have two uncles and one is Ping and the other one
isn't an uncle, but yeah.
Oh, it's like an uncle, like, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but Ping and Pong, like they exist.
Are they friends?
They exist within the family, yeah.
They are, okay, see, that's harmony right there. They were born to be friends. Like you can't like if I have a kid named Ping and someone else has a kid named Pong, they gotta meet. And if they're not friends, then maybe that's how you get the game Ping Pong.
Don Chin Zhao doesn't have a son. He has twins, Ching and Chong. And it's like the Paradox brothers from Yu-Gi-Oh! You remember them?
The Paradox brothers? That sounds dope.
It was the two bald Asian guys, and they finish each other's sentences. They're like, if you want to escape this maze, you will go into a haze. It's like shit like that.
They
speaking
had that
riddles.
Dragon Ball Z fit on too.
Yeah, yeah. Shout outs, man.
Damn. TN's brothers, crazy.
Yeah, they were kind of crazy back in the day. They were the ones who had the Gate Guardian cards.
This is the maze? Like, is this back then?
Yeah,
Oh, they had Labyrinth
Yugi
Wall,
and the
Magic Labyrinth.
gang, they were like trapped underground and they made it to this place. And then the whole gimmick with the Paradox fight was that they had to like traverse through a labyrinth maze that they created. And then at the very end of it, they're like, oh, if you beat us, you can go through this door. And then they're like, but here's the catch. There's a green door and a yellow door. I speak nothing but the truth. And then he speaks nothing but the lie. And then they're like, no, he's the one who's always lying. And it's like it's a paradox is what it's supposed to be. And then
And they had the
yeah.
they had the pre-Exodia card.
Yeah,
Like,
the Gate Guardian was like the strongest attack stat early game Yu-Gi-Oh card out there.
yeah, crazy. I
Yeah.
remember the like some of this, but that's wild.
So Emu goes on and he talks about strength. Wind power is lusted after, is too easily gained. It leads to corruption, choosing servitude out of self-interest, covenants, and the envy that seeks to achieve one's goal. The power of omen. These form the trinity of what we call domination. The power of omen. Nice. Yeah, corruption,
Interesting.
covenants, omen. That is the holy trinity. And he does drop it on Loki once more. Do you want the power of the god? Which, yeah, that's nice. You know, Loki's being tossed that God Knight badge one last time, but Loki, of course, turns it down. He says, so your power is God's dominion? I think you mean a contract with the devil. Emu says, God,
Yeah.
devil, what is the difference? Which is why I really like the title. Kind of unfortunate that the TCB did not go with it, but God and devil I think is perfect because it's like, oh, it's synonymous. But in the
Yeah.
other ones, it's like a god and a devil. It's like, well, I think that one kind of misses the point. I feel like this makes more sense. And you know, Emu's kind of cooking. It kind of goes back to like what Oda did in a volume change for when Emu took over Gunko. There was a thing where when Emu used Domi Reversi, initially he said, I'm going to grant you the power of evil, is when he did Domi Reversi. But Oda's team went back and they changed it to, I'm going to give you the power of a god. So it's now more consistent, which I do enjoy it. I think it's some good stuff.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at the translational differences, seeing if anything too crazy. The lines just after that, you know, Loki's response, I like that. So God's dominion, that's your power. It sounds more like a deal with the devil. That's all the same. But then the world itself rejoices in a state of dominion. The Viz goes, domination is the only true bliss in the world. Isn't that right? And then it goes into the very famous picture that's been making its rounds. Are they friends? Are they not friends? Are they clashing ideologically there? Very interesting. I do like that, like you said, I like the translational difference, like this part right here where it says the god devil, what's the difference? I feel like that's kind of powerful. And then even when the I don't give a crap beats me, I just know I ain't gonna let myself be dominated by anyone, versus I don't give a crap, no one lords it over me. No one lords it over me? It's interesting. Yeah. I was thinking no one lords over me. Like, that could be heresy, you know what I mean? Like, everyone submits. If you're religious, then you submit to God, right? And Loki saying this, regardless, it's like God, devil, no one lords over me. That would be like like a heretic would say that, you know? But
yeah,
you know, you're pushing against the same idea when you're talking about with the devil. Devil's promising a power, you know, but you have to, this is what you got to say, no one lords over me. But a religious person would say, no one lords over me but God, right? So then it's like Emu saying, like, what's the difference? You know, it's kind of interesting when you think
Reminds
about
me
it.
of one of my favorite shows, Prison Break, where
Mm.
yeah, this guy's getting arrested and they're like, on your knees, and he says, I only kneel to God, and I don't
Oh,
see him here.
I thought you were gonna say something else, but then you said it's a guy who said it, and I was like, oh, perfect.
Oh yeah, no, it's John Abruzzi, man. That's my guy.
Gotcha.
Um,
Um,
yeah, no, it's good dialogue. I do enjoy this. People have been looking at the eyes on Emu's ring, and they're counting it out and wondering if there's any deeper meaning there. I don't mind it. I think when you see him lording over Loki, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 eyes. And there's a couple of weird blank spots on the ring as well. So people are wondering,
yeah.
like, oh, were those eyes there originally? But when Harold died, they're missing now. I
Mm.
don't know. I feel like it's always hard to tell with like smaller details like this. I hate to say it. It could be something. It could be nothing. You know, it reminds us of the Marco conversation, right, with Marco's dad at God Valley. We saw that. We said, oh, it looks like Marco. I don't know, though, right? Like, is it really him? Is it not? It turns out it is Marco's dad. So when it comes to the missing eyes and the eye number, it's for me, it's tossing a coin. I think the numbers matter. You know, 16, Emu, 1, 6, 16 is just big here. So I'm cool with that. As far as like the missing eye slots, I'm not super sure about it yet. What do you think
Yeah.
about it? How do you feel about the eyes on Emu's ring?
Maybe there's always 16 open, and so like if those slots opened up an eye, another spot would close. Like we see other sides. On the other side, there's some like really thin eyes, so it's like they're not Asian eyes, they're just slightly closed. And so and then the other part is that this thing is just floating, right? It's not like attached to his back, right? It's like just
Yeah,
in
it's
the air.
floating a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, technically, then, because we know the eyes appear on the front, and if there's 16 on the back and 16 on the front, that's 32,
No,
technically.
you're
So,
right.
uh,
That is 32.
um, yeah, unless, yeah, multiply. But unless they are the same eye, oh, that'd be really gross if it was just the same eyeball, but if for some reason it's like I don't know, like lucent and you could see through it. Oh, that'd be kind of disgusting. But regardless, one way or the other, I think the numbers do matter. It's one of those things though, like will it just be a cool detail, or will it just be like, or will it matter for like, will we get a moment where Zoro and Luffy and Loki are like, every time his eyes close on his ring, he gets a little bit weaker. What if we just cover up all of his eyes, and then can he see? You know what I mean? They do say like, you know, if he's awakened, then his eyes got to be open, right? So what if we put him to sleep? You know, it's just I don't think.
Yeah, throw something at his eyes like Tabasco. Maybe that's where Usopp comes in.
Okay, see that? Okay, all right, now you got me. That if Usopp starts at the
Sniping the
eyeballs
eyes.
yeah, and then Emu starts like wincing every single time and starts crying because hot sauce
Yeah,
is in the eye.
that'd be kind of
That'd be a
crap.
sad weakness.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people can go for the eyes like that, though, right? Usopp, he might be in
Yeah.
a good spot. You know, it's funny. Last time we did this, somebody commented. They're like, you guys missed Emu's eyes tracking everything in this chapter. You need to take your time looking at the chapter. And I was just like, bro, what is going on here? Like, if somebody needs us to
Yeah.
stop and say, hey, Emu's eyes can see things, I think I
By
think we're
this
kind of
point.
missing it. Yeah, by this point,
Yeah.
it's like, hey guys, sorry, we forgot to mention it. Emu's wings are allowing him to fly. It's like, bro, what
Yeah,
are we doing? I saw that comment and I was just baffled for a minute. I was like, no way.
I saw
We
it
need
too.
to say that
Yeah.
Emu's eyes can see things, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, I mentioned it in the Parcast, but that was also like my first reaction to the chapter. But by this point, when it's like 4 days after, 5 days for you, like 3 days for me, seeing the chapter or hearing about the chapter, it's like we're gonna scrub over some of the details that probably everybody talked about because
Or
it'd be
details that are just
uninteresting.
obvious.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, there's two sides of it. Our editors, they're like, ah, you guys can't talk about this one. Everybody's talked about that one already, so there's some
Yeah.
things that we leave
So
up to you guys to fill in.
Emu, I'm gonna describe this one out. Emu thinks about a scene in the past using his brain, and we see a shot of him and Joy Boy are laughing. And yes, Joy Boy is cackling over there. Emu in the background is also cackling. Emu doesn't have the crown. He kind of just looks like a
Yes.
penis back there.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Yeah, no. I said
somebody
dickhead.
says, "Isn't that right?" We don't know if that's Emu. We don't know if that's Joy Boy. I'm assuming it's Joy Boy. And then Emu just kind of reiterates that. So Emu uses his vocal cords and he extends his jaw down and he says words that come out of his mouth. Isn't that right, Joy Boy? So there's a lot of different takes on this. I've seen people saying that, yeah, Emu's the domination guy. No, Joy Boy's the domination guy. It's really hard to say. It's all very ambiguous. I personally feel like Joy Boy was the one who first planted this idea. And then maybe Emu went too far, of course. I don't know. But how do you feel about this whole segment here?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, the isn't that right Joy Boy thing. Like, is he saying that? Like, it's kind of, I don't know why. I kind of think about that scene from Iron Man. I think it's Iron Man 3, where the nerd guy who ends up becoming the villain, he like walks into the elevator and it's like, this is a cool idea, right? And he's like, sure, I'll see you on the elevator. We'll go to the rooftop at midnight. And it's like, if you're watching that scene, it's like, yeah, he's not going to go up there at midnight. He has like this baddie with him. He's going to be with her at midnight,
Yeah.
context clues. And then in this one, it's like, does it feel like he misunderstood it? Maybe Joy Boy wasn't agreeing and there was something else being said, or like, and that's where it's the ambiguity comes in, right? Like Oda obviously made this ambiguous so that he could put in a different lens on it later. But are they laughing together? Are they in the same scene? Yes, like that's all true. I think we talked about it. Like there was a moment Kaido and Luffy, they were laughing too. In the midst of Onigashima, they both cracked up a smile, and Luffy goes, "Isn't this fun?" And Kaido answers with a laugh and smile. And it's like it depends on the context we get dropped in, especially when we're talking about character. Like Joy Boy's power is making people laugh. You know what I mean? Like there's also that too. Nika's entire shtick is
What if this panel is very ominous? Like, what if Emu was trying to cry, but Joy Boy was forcing him to laugh?
Yeah, and he goes like, see, that's the power of domination. You can't do anything other than laugh.
Holy
and it's like
shit.
the smile Ibisu town. That's the reason why we never fix them. It's so that they can feel the true bliss of the world. That's what Chopper gave them. We need to take Emu to Ibisu town. Is this bliss you're talking about? No, that's Joy Boy's bliss. Yeah,
Emu
see,
would
that's
go
why
there and
I
just
wanted
start
to take
crying.
Yeah, like it'd be literally like, yeah, see, that's what Joy Boy wanted for you guys. I'm the good guy, guys. World government, woo! I'm not gonna force you to laugh, but if you want to, if you find a reason to, you'll laugh, right? Joy Boy, he was like, if you guys are laughing, then it's freedom. That's at the end of the day what it is. And it's like, I don't know about that one, Joy Boy. And then they were laughing in the scene. Maybe they were uncomfortably laughing, like Joy Boy just said something in disagreement, and they're like, right? Ha 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 ha. Like one of those.
Yeah.
Sometimes we both do that too. And we expect the chat to agree with us, and then we're just like, nah.
And then we ban everybody who doesn't.
Yeah, like the world government.
we just eliminate them on the spot, really.
Yeah, Lelucia.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it is cool. I feel like a lot of people believed already that Joy Boy and Emu might have been friends in the past. So this doesn't come as a shocker to many people. I held the poll. I think it was like 75% of people voted for, yeah, they were probably friends and then became enemies somewhere down the road.
Mhm.
I feel like that is a tale as old as time itself. It is a stereotype in mini anime. So One
Yeah.
Piece doing it too, good. I am happy for it. I feel like more so than not, this trope is generally well received.
Yeah. Yeah. It just depends on. I mean, I hope that what the community seems to gravitate towards to why their friendship broke up isn't the case with Lily, but those memes are. I understand why they came out the way they did. I mean, you can't have two pieces of one girl. You can only have one piece, and it makes you wonder who got the one piece. But my question to you, Sai, is do you think that hat is the hat in Emu's closet?
That hat.
Right there. Just
Mm,
standing right there. This is the second time we've seen Emu with a straw hat. Not on their head, but there. Is it the same straw
no,
hat? No.
I don't
Ooh.
think it is. Joy Boy
Damn, that's
feels human sized. They
uh-huh.
feel too human sized for me. That straw
Okay.
hat is massive, dude. Or not like massive, massive, but it's big. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it was Joy Boy's. Joy Boy, for most purposes, he feels just very human. He
Yeah.
looks
I mean,
human to me.
we saw with the Legendary Iron Giant that, like, I mean, if Oda was like forcing perspective like insanely hard, it looked like he was what, standing on top of like a poneglyph type square, and he
Yeah.
was like the size of like Emmett's horn, you know. So, or like smaller than that even. I forget, but um it didn't feel giant size at all. Considering Emmett is, how big was Emmett compared to like Dory and Brogy? He was like massive, right?
Yeah, I
He's
think it
probably
was
like
bigger.
double, probably like double or triple.
Yeah.
He's probably Loki size then, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes
So it's
back to
like
size scaling. It's like, I mean, sure, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the era of One Piece we're at. Yeah. Hey, I mean, Joy Boy could maybe change sizes too. It's we don't know what's the dealio. There's no omen. There's no omens on. I mean, we can't say on Joy Boy. It isn't that right bubbles right about where you would maybe see an omen popping up, but Oda hit it in classic Oda fashion. We
Dude,
do know he has a chin. There's that.
I love the theory. It's so funny to me, man. The theory that Joy Boy's gonna look like a Naki Godoy. I think about that and I just keep on laughing about it, dude. If Joy Boy looks
Wait,
like
what do you
a Naki Godoy, that would be hilarious.
like? Like in the sense that Oda makes him like very realistic looking, or like
No, no, no,
Oda
like it's
just
gonna
makes a
yeah, it's gonna look like a Naki Godoy if he was like in One Piece. Like curly hair, maybe the facial structure kind of fits Inaki a little bit.
yeah,
Like in
he
this
makes him Brazilian.
panel, you can kind of see like a little bit of a curl going on. It's like, yo, that could
Yeah,
could be Inaki, man. Because Oda loves
yeah,
Inaki Godoy. I mean, and then plus, Inaki Godoy is Luffy in the live action. They got like the first voice actor for Luffy to play Joy Boy. It's like if Oda's just doing this amalgamation of Luffy's, it's not impossible. Would it be my favorite thing? I wouldn't say so, but it would be
it'd be the weirdest
hilarious.
cast.
I
It'd be
would
because
laugh a
then
lot. So
in the
maybe.
year 2090, when they get to this point, that'd be a hard cast to do because Naki Godoy was a century prior. So it'd be an interesting ode to Inaki if Joy Boy looked like him. I mean, at the end of the day, like he looks like Luffy in the sense of when they dress him up, put the hat on. So it's like it's kind of the thing of, does Joy Boy just look like Luffy? Or does Nika look like Luffy and Joy Boy? Like, do they all look the same, or do they look like just dudes in anime and then they have the same power? Because this
Yeah,
silhouette doesn't tell you too much,
it
but like,
doesn't.
yeah, like that is Luffy. Like, if you put a light on it, it's like, yeah, that would be what Luffy looks like. But it could also be Sabo, you know what I mean? Like Sabo could look like that too, in a little bit. Just put a straw hat
We're
on
gonna
him.
get so many like obvious parallels based on appearance. Like, dude,
Yeah,
Vivi, it just sold it for me. Whenever like Vivi looked just like Lily, it's like okay, yeah,
yeah.
I see what Oda's. It's literally the Yu-Gi-Oh route, bringing it back to Yu-Gi-Oh again. When they go back to ancient Egypt, literally there's a Seto Kaiba who looks like Seto Kaiba. There's Yugi's
Mhm.
grandpa who looks like Yugi's grandpa, but like with like different attire on. Like they're all. It's literally that.
Yeah. Emu's the only one as an exception because this emu and that emu are the same emu, just without a crown. So, which also is kind of funny that emu isn't wearing the crown even in the transformation. Like, why is the crown just gone in the transformation? Where did it go? People are saying it was the staff, his pole arm, but um, I find that interesting. He needs the crown because, like, hey, it's 2 for 2 right here. That silhouette does not look like a human. It looks like a part of a human, and
And once
too
again,
much of
people are
that.
bringing up the Skypiea weird statue things. They're like, oh, Emu kind of looks
Oh,
like
true.
this. So yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's been a long,
that's been
long
a long
running
running
thing, but
one.
yeah, Verth or whatever you want to call it, Vars. Um,
Yeah, I like that
the
theory.
yeah. It's
I
just
mean,
one of those
ugh.
things.
Oh, go
Look
for it.
wise,
Yeah, I was
no,
gonna say,
yeah,
look wise. Okay, it would be cool because it's a throwback, right? It's something that fans picked
yeah.
up on. Like, Emu looks like those scuffed ass statues. But the reason I don't like it is because it's a scuffed ass statue. And it's like, do we want Emu to look super inbred? Not exactly, but it's fine. I'm treating it the same way as the Inaki Godoy thing. It's like, you know what? Not my first choice, but if it gets me to laugh, sure. I'm a good sport.
Yeah,
Fine.
I mean, with the
Fuck it.
Verth, whatever you want to go by, uh, that one like had a headdress too, so it could be like they are of the same like culture, but so like maybe Emu knows who Vars is, but maybe they're not the same person. That I would very much entertain that theory for sure. And if you wanted to go a step further and be like, oh, that's Burka, cool, I love that. It could be something like that. Like this appearance that we see from Emu may not be important for appearance, more so like physical appearance rather than their attire. Similar thing of like when we saw like not Luffy, but Joy Boy. It's like the first thing you know, look to see to know that it's Joy Boy. It's not the shoulders, it's not his chin, it's the straw hat. You see the straw hat, and you're like, okay, that's the parallel. That's who Luffy. So that must be Joy Boy, right? If this guy didn't have a thing and Emu didn't say Joy Boy, if there was no straw hat and no Joy Boy, we wouldn't know who this guy is. It's just some random person.
Uh, I
I
feel like,
mean, we
okay,
would make the assumption.
we
We
would
make the
make the assumption
assumption.
that this is actually
Yeah.
just fucking him. Let's
But
be real for a minute.
it'd be the same kind of discourse of like, or is that like his Sabo or his Ace or something? I don't know. It could be like anybody. My point is, it could be anyone. Versus in this one, if we're saying that it looks similar, are we saying it looks similar because of their face? Well, we can't see their face. It's their headdress. So it's like then it'd be the same thing as the straw hat, right? Like they're wearing the same attire. That's significant, but significant for other reasons, right? Like I'm not gonna say that everybody who wears a straw. Well, okay, everyone who wears a straw hat probably has a similar demeanor, but everyone who wears like an ancient headdress like Vars did, they probably don't all act the same. It'd be like saying all Skypeans are the same, right? All Skypeans have. Oh, uh, they're not the same. So they're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. Well, you have counter. Conus and her dad were very different. All I'm saying. One is Smash. The other's not. Papagu? No, that's
No,
Starfish. Never mind. What's
comment.
Conus's dad's name? Pagaya. There we go. There we go.
Pagaya.
Yeah. Good old Pagaya, who lived, right?
Yeah, he lived. Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Shout
comment on
outs.
Skypeans all being the same or not. That one is
Hey, come on.
yeah, that's
Hey,
up for
come
debate.
on. Hey, come on. They just had the two balls on their head.
All long arm, long leg people are the same. All Skypeans are the same. All
Come
giants are generally the
on.
same.
Ideo worked really hard to get where he's at. And Blue Gilly, he's blue.
Nobody likes him.
Wait, I thought you liked him. Oh, you liked him more than somebody else. That doesn't mean you like him. Okay, got it,
Yeah.
got it, got it, got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's nuance there.
You liked him more than Jeet. What does that say about Jeet, huh?
I kind of like Jeet.
Oh, okay. All right, we're
Jeet
on top
reminds me of like
then.
you. You know what I mean? So when I look
Yeah,
at Jeet,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just see a
Nice
friend.
one.
Friend
That took a
shaped.
lot of wit, Sai. I'm so proud of how clever that joke was for you to come up with.
I mean, it didn't take a lot of effort, Par.
How come when we see the dark skin on Emu, you never went like that? Reminds me of. That reminds me of.
Who?
I don't. I don't know. Who does it remind you of?
Um,
King Lunarians.
yeah, it reminds me of, I mean, that's why I thought he was a Lunari, or he might have been a Lunarian at first, but the more I look at Emu, the more I see red.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Funny enough, I mentioned this on my stream. I have a local AI, meaning like I use it on my own computer, not with the data center, whatever point. But every single time it colors an emu with no like it's not. I'm not typing it in. It always colors him red. It's crazy. It's like it
Yeah,
knows. Yeah,
it knows,
I
dude.
don't have to
AI
do a
is
single thing.
smart.
Yeah,
It said, yo,
it
this
keeps
is
on
a
saying.
red motherfucker, let me tell you.
Yeah, based on Oda's work in the past, this shading of a shade is actually red. You know, I'm sure people have tried that explanation too.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Where are we? There's not a lot left. Oh yeah, Emu doing the
No?
unhinged jaw thing. Pretty cool.
Kind
Goofy,
of
but I
curry.
guess it does like go to show like how much of a sore spot Joy Boy actually is. So I'm cool with it. Next
Yeah.
thing we get is Luffy is using his hands to put food in his mouth. Just want to draw that line for people so they know what's going on here.
Yeah.
He's
I
also
needed it.
chewing his food, I believe, with his teeth and his jaw strength. He says, "More. I gotta
Mmm.
eat more. Never felt this before. Damn, it's heavy and
Ooh.
harsh. What is with this guy's
Bars.
harsh? Huh?
More. Gotta eat. What never felt this before? Dude, this rhymes.
Yeah, Stephen Paul wanted to get rhythmic for this one.
Yeah. It's so heavy and oh my god, yeah, what the hell?
I like
What
the other
is
translation. I like the one where he's like, "Oh, this is suffocating."
Yeah, yeah, so heavy and harsh. Sounds like we're in a different manga. It sounds like we're on a different website even. So heavy and
Yeah,
harsh. What's with that guy's hockey? Can't win without a full stomach.
we're gonna see
Um,
Tank Man, dude. Tank Man's coming in.
oh, you
Everybody's
think so?
favorite transformation. I hope not.
Gear 5, Tenko Mano. No, that's not Japanese, never mind.
Yeah, it just
Tenku.
says Tank Man.
Oh, fair enough, fair
Yeah,
enough.
you're just adding in
Um,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Oda wrote Worf, Chomp, Munch, Kang, Glorp, Gurk. I was just translating that. That's all I was doing.
I see, I see.
Yeah, yeah. Come on.
Yeah, my bad. So we cut back to the fight. Emu is distracted, so he gets walloped by Loki's hammer. It's funny, dude. Joy Boy is such a sore spot that fucking Emu wasn't even paying attention to the battle anymore. He got sidetracked.
Yeah, yeah.
So he gets flung to the Atom Tree. Again, I do think this looks very reminiscent to when Doflamingo was stuck in the, I don't even know what to call it, like the sunflower field rock. He's hitting like a
The
T
tooth.
pose here. Yeah, the giant tooth. And then we have the whole thing where Loki turns Nidhogg form, uses Thorheim, and then Emu says, "So thou art back."
And he's smiling.
And he's smiling. Yeah, he's happy. He's happy to see Nidhogg again. Isn't that
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
So do you think he's saying
Yeah.
that in reference to Nidhogg, by the way? Like, thou art back?
It seems like it. Like he's saying it now, seeing the dragon. But he kind of already knew that the dragon was a thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind
Would
of,
you?
and like if he had this kind of feeling and sentiment, why didn't he go after him in the first place? You know,
Yeah. I was about to say, would
like
you believe me if I said that a lot of people initially believed that it was Luffy that he was saying that to?
what? I mean, then I'd have to like look to see where Luffy is, but I don't see Luffy here. And they're quite a ways away from where Luffy was. Because if Loki is standing in front of where Luffy was, and Emu got hit all the way back there, how would he even see Luffy? Like,
See, that is a genius question to ask, Par.
yeah,
Above my pay grade.
maybe his eyes are binoculars. He went into binocular mode.
Yeah, when the spoilers first released, and I mean, I've seen the sentiment even after the chapter release. People are like, "Oh, he's saying you're really back, cut to Luffy because Luffy is the sun god, and he's back in the fight." Yeah, I don't see it. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like it's
Yeah,
Nidhogg, and then plus like even before this, he does say Nidhogg dot dot dot, and then he gets hit, and then he finishes off by saying "So thou art back," which is a good catch.
yeah. And I feel like the other part too that is weird though about it being Nidhogg is like those reports. He had those reports and he goes like, giant, unfathomably large flying object, Loki. He knows it's Loki, son of Harold. He knows those two things. And he's like, where could Nidhogg be? Shows up in Gunko form. Ah, so you were on Elbaf all this time. And it's like, depending on what Emu's like actual reaction, because we have no context of "so thou art back." Like, what does he mean by that? Like, is he
Yeah,
happy? Is he mad? Is he angry? Depending on his context of that, it does kind of make like the whole Loki flying around as Nidhogg, and if he's like, "Oh, my beloved pet, I finally found you." If he goes that, then it's like, bro, you've got reports about your beloved pet years ago, and now and it was chained up for you to get. And like, and then even beyond that, if you're looking for Nidhogg, Elbaf has been there for 800 years. Like, it's guarded by a squirrel. So it's kind of one of those things that it kind of, I want to suspend my belief a little bit when we finally get the
it is a
context.
little bit silly.
Yeah, I feel like it is Nidhogg, and I feel like it is something like, wow, it's good to see you again, old friend. I feel like that's where we're gonna go. But if it is
Yeah.
that, then it's like, okay, then all of you, what were you doing, bro? Remind me to not be your friend in the future because you never know, you wouldn't check my own house.
Yeah, like deadass. If I was looking for Par in the wilderness, I just go to India.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, that's a good start. Like, that's better than Emu. Emu's out here getting the reports. Straight up flying dragon, bro. It's like, must be Kaido. Like,
An old friend of mine was also a giant black flying dragon that covered the sky. Interesting.
yeah. Yeah. It's like where people like you know what? Maybe it's not Emu's fault. Maybe it's the report. The reporters are probably like, oh, it's just Kaido. Like, we didn't see him, we saw Loki, but the flying thing, the dragon, Kaido, right? Like,
Dude,
I don't
it's
know.
Pell. Actually, there's this guy from Alabasta. He can fly, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Floridian Triangle monsters. Guys, come on.
Whew, that is rough.
Oh
But
wait, no, wasn't there a guy who literally
What's up?
said, "No, it's not the Floridian Triangle"?
Yeah,
Oh no, that was about
it was
Harold.
the fisherman guy. He was like, "Yo, dude, that's
Yeah.
not it."
Yeah.
I was gonna say I do like the idea that Emu and this devil fruit transformation are two different entities. Like they're switching out like Yugi and Atem, and that's why
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, so you're really here?" It's like, yeah, Emu knows, but maybe this devil didn't know. Like, I don't think that'd be awful. And maybe with Nidhogg, like if we're seeing like devil fruit wills taking over to an extent, maybe we see Nidhogg take over and we get like a little conversation. Like, I think it would be cool
Yeah.
if Nidhogg, the dragon, starts talking instead of Loki.
Yeah, and then Dragon's like, "Bro, what are you doing with Emu? That's kind of gross." And then the dragon goes, "I formed the Devil's Trinity domination, and then it's like it feels so good, and then we find out like all these things are like subjugated underneath. Oh, that's kind of scary though if you think about it like that, because then that means like Nidhogg could be absorbed, right? Like could it be a situation where, oh yeah, like why isn't that a thing? Like if Blackbeard can take away your devil fruit, maybe it's a concern for Loki right now. That would be a crazy good way to nerf him too. It'd be if Emu can extract the devil fruit from him, and then he can take the devil fruit, and now he can become Nidhogg. He just needs to search for it, you know? That could be why I'd be smiling too, if that would be the case. Oh my god. That'd be a terrifying next chapter if that's the case. Next chapter we see Luffy has to fight Nidhogg as Emu. Oh my god.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, and Loki would just be depressed. No, Loki doesn't really care about the dragon form, does he? Do you think he cares that much?
I think he cares. I feel like after a while you grow attached to it.
All right, that's fair enough.
And then plus,
it's like Elbaph's symbol.
Ragnir likes it as well, right? Ragnir was cheering it on.
Yeah, that'd be sad for Ragnir.
So isn't it kind of sad that Emu recognizes Nidhogg and says, "Oh, you're really back," but he doesn't say that to Ratatoskr?
Well, he hasn't seen Ratatoskr as a squirrel.
True. The whole thing where it merged with the hammer, that's relatively new.
Yeah, the hammer, him not recognizing the hammer is one thing, but I also, like, you know, let's say you once wielded Excalibur, and then like I see your reincarnation, and like I wouldn't ooze over your nice to see you again, Excalibur, and it's like completely ignore, you know, the person. I'd just be like, god damn, this is a crazy fight. I wouldn't like be schizo and just start talking to the sword. So like maybe that's why, but Emu probably recognizes that the hammer is the most ancient thing, like period. Like the hammer's Nika friendly, right? Like that's how we're supposed to look at it.
Yeah, it should be.
Like, yeah, Ratatoskr, we're kind of looking at it as, or I'm looking at it as, Ratatoskr got fruitified. That fruit is in the hammer, so that's why the hammer can turn into the squirrel. But because it got fruitified, it doesn't have the original memories, which is why Ratatoskr doesn't recognize Emu. But the hammer, if the hammer were sentient, if the hammer could just speak, if Big Mom were to put a soul in the hammer, then it would be able to like start spilling the tea. We get some really good ass tea. This is more understandable than the Sea Kings, like not just telling Shirahoshi everything, you know. The hammer not telling us anything makes sense. So, but yeah. Pretty good chapter though.
We need Chop. I mean, I'm telling you, man, we just need Chopper. Chopper just needs to come in and just say, "Hey, so I talked to him.
Why must you do this? Why must you do this? Stop giving Chopper expectations."
Yeah, sorry. I keep on putting Chopper on this damn pedestal. Yeah, my bad, gang.
Yeah, we just gotta let him rock. If he solves something, woo, yay, good day. You know, it'd be so crazy if this entire time Loki couldn't understand Emu and then had Chopper translating. That'd be so funny if it was just like, oh yeah, or Ratatoskr. Wait, Loki can understand Ratatoskr, right?
Yeah,
he can understand him. Huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be a gag. Like, what if the entire time Loki's just making up what he wants to hear? Yeah,
like Loki goes like, yeah, Ragnar's the only one who can unfreeze him. Ratatoskr goes squeak squeak, and that meant, do you mean I can unfreeze him? I've never said that. I've never done that. He's just freaking out. That'd be so funny.
No, yeah, Ragnar's like, actually, you could just they'll thaw naturally. And Loki's like, yep, he's the only one.
Yeah, squeak squeak.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a Key and Peele skit.
Yeah, actually, no, there's a guy. I think he goes by Kuzan now. He can do it too.
Yeah. Oh, the entire time Ragnar's just like, yes, during the Void Century, I once fought Emu. I recognize his power, Loki. Be careful. And then Loki's like, what is that, Ragnar? You're hungry, aren't you? Woo. That would be so
That'd be
cursed.
so good.
Yeah, and then Chopper walks in and he hears somebody saying, "For an eternity, I've been trying to tell this man. I've been trying to tell him the truth."
Dude, I wanted 1181 and a half, where that is the truth, where Ragnar's just squeaking in between. Loki, go for a side swipe, he won't dodge. And then like Loki does it, and it's like, see, squeak, squeak. And then like, yeah, Emu is doing imagine that. Emu's telepathizing with Ragnar this entire time. That'd be kind of crazy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
voice
having
about
like a
things with
side
the
conversation, like the tailed beast in Naruto. They're like in their own dimension, having some tea or something.
hammer. Yeah, and Emu's like, just join me, Ragnar. You were waiting for someone worthy, and now they're here. And then he's like, squeak, squeak. He's like, that guy, that bumbling buffoon, you think he's worthy? Oh, man, that actually be kind of
and
good.
then it's revealed that Emu also cannot understand Ragnar. Emu is also just making shit up.
Yeah, that unironically, that'd be a really good half chapter where it's a complete comedy where they just completely go over each other's heads. And Ragnar's just the most frustrated character in existence.
Yeah, what a pained existence that would be.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then Chopper finally comes in, and Chopper doesn't understand him either. And Ragnar's like, what are you for, merch? Oh, that'd be such a good half chapter. Someone needs to make this a chapter. Oh,
It feels like a One Piece
Ragnar.
gag too. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it does.
this is a One Piece gag and a half.
Yep, that was a good one. I got it.
So with that being said, that is the end of today's video. Par, do you have any final thoughts you want to leave off on? And any big theories you want to just like drop on us?
No, but like the main thing being is that Luffy has to show up next chapter, right? Because it's Golden Week.
No.
Oh, but it's a chapter that like Luffy's birthday. Luffy's birthday is next week, or May 5th, 6th.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming in.
What? Not even for his own birthday?
No.
Next,
I bet we'll see
Golden
Luffy,
Week?
but I don't think we're actually gonna get Luffy like fighting Emu.
Oh, well, not fight. Okay, he appears at the end of the chapter, debuting, and he says, "Happy birthday!" Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But,
yeah, it's one of those things. Oda, he likes to stall. He likes to slow roll a little bit. I don't think we're gonna see Luffy confronting Emu for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think it'd take that long. I like low-key, I was memeing about the thing, like
You were memeing? No fucking way.
No, but like I do think that he shows up soon. I don't know if it goes on for that long, you know. How much more do you
I think we need to wrap up the God Knights and then
okay.
Yeah, I feel like once we wrap up the God Knights, I'd be like, yeah, okay, now we're getting the Luffy fight.
Oh, do you think the God Knights are handling Biblo? That's where they went. Because Killingham's also missing.
I don't know.
They have to get the books back.
Do they even know the books are gone? Like, who knows that shit?
All right. They sense the books are missing. They're like, the library's not burned.
That the books are missing, huh?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
books are overdue.
Biblo makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense if you think about the whole thing where it's like, yeah, they shouldn't know that Biblo has him right now. Unless they've just been like sensing Biblo's hockey and they sense the books and they're like, oh my God, it's gone. Like, they should be almost as clueless, which, you can put clueless in quotation marks here, as Emu was when he showed up to Elbaf, where Emu was like, oh, Sommers, what are you doing? Right? Because he showed up and Sommers is just like fucking in Garrett's hands. It should be kind of like the same thing. Like, oh yeah, the books are in the library still. But no, like if they're really bouncing out to go find Biblo, it's like, wait, how do they know that Biblo has it? Like Killingham was the only one near the library, and even then he's outside the library, whereas Robin and Saul went inside to like find that out. So that's a little bit of a weird one to me.
this is the perfect time for me to make a crack cocaine theory on Biblo like I did with Recycle Kerr. But this time, Biblo might actually, like, I don't know why. I just feel like Biblo descends from the heaven realm down, like, in front of Emu. Like, Emu hit the tree, and Biblo's is like hits him with some wisdom. It's like, I told you 800 years ago. And then Biblo flies away, and Emu's like,
Ooh.
Biblo was here too? Damn. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Biblo does something, right? Like, does Biblo do something next chapter, you think? Or
Does
soon?
Biblo do something next chapter? I think Biblo will do something eventually. I wouldn't say next chapter.
Mm. So what do you think happens next chapter besides the Holy Knights?
I think
Because it can't just be Holy Knights.
Yeah, I think half the chapter will be Holy Knights, half the chapter will be this fight.
Mm. All right, then I think that, like, Luffy for Golden Week, he shows up last page. Last page we get a big smile.
Yeah, if Luffy shows up by the end, I'm cool with it. I just feel like when Luffy shows up, it's like we're gonna get like everything right there. With Luffy saying he's still eating, I feel like he's gonna be stalled for a little bit.
That's fair. He's not the fastest eater, but he eats a lot, so
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think Oda's gonna save him for last. Like when Killingham and Somers, when the Killingham and Somers fight starts with Zoro and Sanji, if they're the opponents, right? We don't know how it's gonna go yet. The minute they start getting wrapped up, I think that's when Luffy shows up, and then, you know, then we get like consecutive battles. Like, oh, they're done. The God Knights are cooked. Now we go on to Emu, and then we lose, and then they leave. Which I don't even know if the God Knights lose, to be honest. Like, if Emu is really supplying them with Maki, maybe they don't lose here.
I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like it'd be so terrible, bro.
If they did, like multiple. I mean, we already have that meme for Saint Somers, right? Saint Somers is losing multiple times in one arc.
He's not even just losing; he's missing too. Like missing, not in like the sense of missing from things. No, he missed standing objects. Like they weren't dodging, and he missed.
But we don't know if he was actually trying to aim at them, though. That was our cope, remember?
Yeah. That was the cope.
Yeah, that was the cope.
Like 8 shots. He was just sending warning shots 8 times. Giant pin needles.
He wanted his presence known.
Yeah. Even though he was already known presently. Even though he's the one who kind of threw them off the cliff in the first place.
Exactly.
In theory. Yeah.
But with that being said, gents and ladies, it is time to get out of here. Look at that. We almost hit 2 hours-ish. Shout outs to that. One of the longer podcasts in a while. Hey, sometimes these podcasts are short simply because we don't have too much to go off of, right? Sukiyaki Yamato is not in the cover page. Fight chapters are generally pretty simple. I'm sorry, man. That's just how the cookie crumbles. One day, me and Par will drop a 4-hour-long discussion, but that is going to be when something effing major happens. Something where every single panel will get contested. We're going to have to be jumping in between Stephen Paul's translations and the TCB, as well as people online who know Japanese. Oh,
and Vanessa.
And Vanessa Stone. And we're even going to contact Mr. AI to see what they have to say as well. But this is just not one of those chapters. It's a good chapter, but
it's a good chapter.
Not a lot of debate here.
Yeah, I read this one in 27 minutes, believe it or not. Crazy.
Yeah, and Par.
That's how you know.
He was known as one of the slowest people out there in the world.
No, one of the most detailed, finest. No, you're right. Not in the world, though. That's crazy.
Slow in terms of reading. I'm talking about slow in general. Okay, that's mean. I'm sorry. I just got out watching Friends, and they had an episode like that where this Joey was pretending to speak, or he thought he was speaking Italian or French or whatever. And then
he was just speaking slow?
No, he was just saying things. He was just... And then in French, they're like, no, humor him. He's a little bit retarded. He's a little bit slow. God. Just be nice to him.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But anyways, tangent. Catch you guys later. Peace out. Stay safe. You know where to find Par down below. He's posting a lot of shorts, so make sure to check him out.
Yeah, and videos almost once a week.